Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Trent. This is Rams Talk. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting and liking and subscribing. For everyone who just subscribed, thank you very much for jumping on board and joining the community. For everyone who is a legacy subscriber, thank you for continually watching and weighing in and all the discussion. If you are seeing this for the first time, love to have you as a part of the community, so feel free to subscribe. Really like that. You can also find me on Twitter at Real LA Rams Talk. So let's get into this game that we just had against the 49ers. Now, that just warmed my heart, you know, coming off of Dodgers getting to the World Series, then the Lakers fight, and then the Rams taking down San Francisco was just kind of like an all-around awesome weekend. But, you know, it's... You never want to take an opponent lightly, and you know the 49ers, you know they've hung with a lot of teams. They've been in a lot of games this year, so you don't want to take them lightly. But the Rams basically went to Levi Stadium and just manhandled them. Like it just wasn't even close, and it really goes to show the difference in talent and the difference of these rosters. The Rams roster is stacked. We all know that. But the 49ers really have like zero firepower. There's really nothing going on there, and even with Jimmy Garoppolo, it wasn't like they were lighting up the NFL. They just don't have a lot of talent. So a couple of things I mentioned in the game preview, and like keys to watching this game, were the turnovers. The 49ers were last going into that game in the turnover differential at -11. Now they're -15. And I said if the season up to that point was any indication of like how things will play out, then the 49ers most likely will turn the ball over a couple times, which they did 4 times. Another thing I mentioned to watch was that they don't really throw the ball to their receivers often. Their top 2 receivers are the tight end and the fullback, and you saw in this game it was just all Kittle. I mean, like everything was going to Kittle, everything. They only really had 4 receptions by receivers for like 35 yards, so like they were not a factor at all. And then the other thing to watch was Brandon Cook's matchup in the secondary, and he caught a touchdown. Goff spread the ball out, so it wasn't like one receiver really like dominated the game. But those are the key things to look into for the game, and that I stated, and it kind of played out that way. Now, going back to the 49ers and their woeful offense, like I said, they didn't really stretch the field or target their receivers. They averaged only 3.6 yards per pass. I mean, that's like good old-fashioned Sam Bradford style back on the Rams back in the day. So, yeah, really was not a threat at all. They only converted 3 out of 11 on first downs. Third downs. The Rams did 5 for 12, much better, a little bit better. And the Rams really took it to them rushing. And the 49ers came in as a good rushing team, and the Rams held them to 107 yards, which is 30 yards below their average per game. And the Rams rushed for 146 yards on 28 carries from the backs. I mean, Sean Mannion had like 3 rushes, and I don't think Sean Mannion threw the ball. He just handed off and ran. So, or maybe they counted those like kneel downs as rushes, I guess. But 28 carries from the backs. And what I really liked is that they fed Malcolm Brown. He had like 12 or 13 carries or something like that. And for a 5 yards per carry average, he actually had more rushing yards than Todd Gurley. And I like that they just pound the ball. Like, give Gurley a break and just, you know, Malcolm Brown's not elusive, but he's just going to just drive it in, and that's what he did. But let's just, on the offensive side, Todd Gurley is like, we have the best running back in football. That's amazing. He not only is the best back in football, but he broke Eric Dickerson's franchise record of being the fastest player running back on the Rams he had the most touchdowns through his first 7 games, breaking Eric Dickerson's record with 14, or 13 broke the record, but he has 14 overall. And his 14 touchdowns are more than 9 other teams. Offensive touchdowns are more than 9 other teams in the NFL, more than like Buffalo and Jacksonville and Oakland and New York Giants. I mean, Todd Gurley is outscoring entire teams offensively, which is pretty crazy. He had 3 more touchdowns today. I mean, he's just a beast. He's just a beast. He has Ezekiel Elliott has like 3 rushing touchdowns. I mean, it's just not even close. So, I mean, Todd Gurley, game ball on offense. What can you say? but everything on offense starts with the offensive line. Goff was only sacked twice, but I mean, like, all the time, Goff just had all the time in the world to throw. And once again, the offensive line, kind of the unsung hero. Rams fans, you know the deal, but it all really starts with them. I mean, they were just mowing. I mean, Gurley's touchdowns, the 2 rushing touchdowns, is like he just kind of walked in there. It was great. So talking about that, also on offense, Greg the leg, good to see him back. Didn't see any ill effects from the leg injury or the groin injury. And then he just, when he kicks it, it's like just crisp and hard. And now it's like last year he was going to set the all-time scoring record in the NFL until he got injured. And now we have that weapon back. And if he can stay healthy, I mean, that's such an X factor, especially in today's NFL where everyone's missing everything. JoJo Natson, I mean, Pharaoh Cooper was good last year, but I don't remember seeing the electricity like JoJo Natson has. Smallest guy, but I mean, he really just can change direction and accelerate more than I've seen, or better than I've seen Cooper ever do. So I don't know if Cooper does come back, and if he does come back, if he takes over Natson's spot. I feel like Natson kind of stole it, and that's another thing. I mean, he had that punt return later in the game that set up the Gurley receiving touchdown. I mean, he had like, what, a 36-yard return or something that put him right in scoring range. So tip of the cap to JoJo Natson. Now switching over to defense, you know, the Rams gave up 10 points. So I think we can all just sit back and enjoy that one. Led behind 2 guys. Corey Littleton, who had led the team in tackles. He also had 2 sacks and another blocked punt. I mean, what can you say about Corey Littleton? The dude is a special teams monster, and he's just all over the place. So really tip of the cap to Corey Littleton. You know, middle linebacker had been kind of an issue, but he's stepping it up. And then Aaron Donald. I mean, what can you say? Just like we have Gurley on one side, we got Aaron Donald on the other. Total game changer. He had 9 tackles, 5 QB hits, 4 sacks, 6 tackles for a loss, and then that strip fumble where he just pulled it out of the guy's hand like nothing. I mean, he is so ripped, and he's getting better every game and every year. He has more, I think, twice as many sacks through 7 games this year as he did last year. And the 49ers offensive line is not bad. It's a good offensive line, and he just manhandled their center like on every snap. It was insane to see. So I mean, we are really, everyone enjoy this. Enjoy watching Gurley and Aaron Donald right now. It's not going to be forever, and you know, these are generational players, and it's really, really fun watching them. And it's fun watching them just shut the 49ers down. And you know, interestingly enough, I had a lot of comments from 49ers fans on the last thread. A lot of people just talking out of their ass, and quiet today. Not a peep. Interesting, huh? Go back into your holes. Come back in like 3 years when your team may be good. A couple other guys I want to talk about on the defensive side. Troy Hill had an interception, and Johnson had an interception. I mean, Johnson, that's his 3rd interception this year from a safety position. Gotta love that. He's usually matched up against the tight end of other teams. And Troy Hill, I mean, that was a really nice pick. So, you know, we rip him when he's done poorly, but he did really well in this game. I think he left with a concussion perhaps, but really liked what I saw out of Troy Hill in the secondary. I mean, you didn't even hear Marcus Peters' name mentioned because they don't throw to wide receivers. So anyways, those are my thoughts on this game. Feels extra good. Now we got the Packers coming up. Going to get a video out in a couple days on that. So actually an offense to look out for. And back home, I mean, the Rams just just finished 3-game road trip, and you know, they're 7-0, they're undefeated. There's not much more you could really want from this team. Hopefully Cooper Kupp comes back. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Get that Green Bay content up pretty soon, but it's just a great feeling. So enjoy it, everyone, and I'll get back to you in a couple days. Go Rams.